Hey everybody, Ken Krell here. Welcome to World Love Week. It is exactly 1:01 p.m. here in Sydney in the afternoon. It is whatever time was it, 9 p.m. On the east coast of the U.S. We are thrilled that you are here, and you will be super thrilled with one of my favorite people as your guest today. His name is Alexander Olave, and there's a song written about him, Olave. Well, that's a different conversation. But anyway, Alex is going to talk with you about the process of having an online business. And understand something, he's pretty cool. He's been featured in New York Weekly, LA Times, US News, and Medium. He is a business expert and venture capitalist, helping business owners and mainstream consumers alike recognize opportunity and potential in a world of innovating markets. Now, what the hell does that mean? We're going to find out in a few minutes. I will, by full disclosure, tell you that the registration pages for this event were produced by the incredible. Oh, what's that mug? Show me that mug.
Oh, Viva Las Vegas. Viva.
Oh, I thought it was one of our mugs. Get rid of that. I don't care about that mug. We sent you some personalized mugs. I thought you were going to bring on the old personalized.
I should have. That would have been phenomenal. Next time.
Yeah, it would have been. See how you are, but check it out. He's got the guitar behind him. He's got the Virgin colors behind him. You know, the Virgin brand. It's just he's all about it. And up until last week, he did have hair. It is not chemo. It is called using clippers. Alex, it's good to see you.
Thank you, Ken, for having me, man. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, I'm going to leave you to it because I unfortunately I have a pre-existing commitment to you to take care of right now. So the stage is yours. Everybody fasten your seatbelts. This guy knows his stuff. He's been helping us with building funnels for a while now. And he's been a speaker at our Pride events for many sessions. I've done many special sessions and bonus sessions with us and for us. So as far as I'm concerned, he is family and you will love him. So with that said, I'm out of here. Mr. Olave, take it away.
Awesome. Again, Ken, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm so happy to be here for all of you out there watching in the audience, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, whether you came in through the email, wherever you're at, I hope to give you something to take away from today. Now, maybe you're an online entrepreneur, maybe you're a business owner, regardless of what it is, you want to start an online business or you want to take what you have and you want to optimize it even further. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. There's so many different things that we could get into, so many different online coaching, e-commerce, and we're going to cover a lot of it today. But before we even do any of that, I kind of want to tell you guys my story and just a little bit of a backdrop of how I got here today. So like Ken said, I've been featured in New York Weekly, the US News, Medium, all of those publications, right? But at the end of the day, it didn't start there, right? It's so funny. It's like we see all these people with all this success and they have what it is that we want, but we really didn't see the journey that they had to go through to get there. It's like guys like Elon Musk. Elon Musk was homeless, living in his office, coding at night, working during the day. There's all kinds of stories like that entrepreneurs go through to get to where it is that they want to be. So very, very similar in my scenario, right? I didn't always start out as a business owner. I didn't always have a six-figure business. As a matter of fact, I spent the last 10 years as a professional fighter. That is right. The last 10 years I've been a professional fighter, traveling the world, living in some beautiful countries, Thailand, Malaysia, London, and then, of course, the United States, where I reside now. It was in my time in Thailand that as I was exposed to the digital space. So, Thailand, I lived on a beautiful island. I want you to imagine, right? In Asia, right? There's the West Coast islands, which are like Phuket, and then the East Coast islands, which are like Krabi, Koh Samui. I was on the East Coast island. It was a very small island. But what I found there was a lot of digital entrepreneurs, a lot of people clicking buttons, sipping coconuts, just living the laptop lifestyle. And I was always curious, what are these people doing? How are they making money? So, there's a famous saying, and I want you guys to write this down if you've never heard it. Most likely you've heard it. Your network is your net worth. One more time. Your network is your net worth. And I knew that. And I knew that if I wanted to take that next best step, that step towards financial freedom or financial literacy or whatever that is for you, I had to surround myself with the right people. Fast forward, here we are today. As a business owner, the only reason that happened, right? The only reason that happened was surrounding myself with the right people, put me on the trajectory to be able to achieve what it is and know what I know as of today. So, as I digress here, came back from Thailand, had the opportunity to open a gym. All right. Opened the gym, and literally within a couple weeks, we had to shut the doors. Oh my gosh, what? I thought you said you were a six-figure business owner. Don't worry, this gets good. During the time, I had no understanding, no foundation of marketing, no understanding of financial literacy, no understanding of investing, but I thought I could be a business owner. It turns out you can be a great professional fighter, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a great entrepreneur or business owner. So again, a couple short months later, we shut the door for business, and I lost everything. I had invested everything into this gym and lost it within a short couple months. And yeah, I ended up homeless. Right, I ended up homeless. Just moving to the desert heat of New Mexico, living in a tent for the next 3-4 months. Wow, how did you get there, Alex? I'll tell you this: self pity is a dangerous drug. And while we're going to cover a lot of different intricate topics today and things that you can do to optimize where you're at, or maybe you're just starting out, we're going to cover a lot. But I want to start off with this today. Self pity is a dangerous drug. Now, what do I mean by that? It's a drug. Self pity absolutely is. It's like we have a choice. We have a choice to align our energy with with the right mindset. Okay, we have the choice to align our energy with the right mindset. And for me, it was, why did I fail? Oh, I'm a business owner. I can't go back to the 9 to 5. There's no way that I can do this. And as a result, I sat there, I lived in the tent, soaked in my self pity, and it didn't make my situation any better. But here's what I would say to you, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All of you at home have gone through something that has defined you and that has put you to where you are today. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm a firm believer. And if it wasn't for that circumstance of me being homeless, me living in a tent, I would have never had the hunger to learn and know what I know today, which we're going to open up here in a bit. So fast forward a little bit. All right. How did I go from being homeless to now owning, opening and owning multiple six-figure businesses? What was the transition? What was the in between? And that's what we're here to talk about today. How to have an online business, how to have a process, how to go from 0 to 6 figures, how to even go from 0 to your first 5K. Now, again, this doesn't happen overnight. And I'm not sitting here saying you're going to make $1 million overnight. No way. I would be skeptical. I would tell you to turn off your computer, your TV, your smartphone if I was sitting here saying I'm going to make you rich overnight. What I can tell you is that after today's, what do we want to call it? Stage presence, all right? After today's World Love Week, I want you to, because there's been some amazing speakers here. I want you to take what I say with a grain of salt. It's a lot of information. There's a lot of things to cover. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. So I want to start off with this. Arbitrage. I want you to ask yourself, what is arbitrage? What does arbitrage even mean? I'm going to give you a second to ponder that. Arbitrage. Awesome. Cool. All arbitrage simply is overlooked, underutilized opportunities. Again, arbitrage is overlooked excuse me, guys. Overlooked, underutilized opportunities. So what do I mean by that? Overlooked, underutilized opportunities. Arbitrage is a very big word used in the investment community. So like a level 1 arbitrage would be somebody buying Monster energy drinks and selling them on Amazon. That is like a level 1 arbitrage, right? A higher level of arbitrage is recognizing somebody has a service that nobody else is monetized and being able to take it and push it, right? So overlooked, underutilized opportunities. Anytime you all have seen a fad in the market, anytime you've seen a craze in the market, it's someone got to that particular movement before anyone else did, and then spread like a wildfire. And the next thing you know, it's everywhere, right? So I want you guys to understand something. Arbitrage is essentially business in a nutshell. It's being able to recognize overlooked, underutilized opportunities. So what opportunities exist around you that you can begin to tap into? So let's say you're trying to start an online business. You're trying to sell something online and you have no idea what it is that you want to do. And if you're like 9 out of 10 people, you're coming in the digital space with the very same ideology. You have no idea how to make money. You just want to know how to make money online, and you're not sure what to do. It all starts with arbitrage. Do you have a product to sell? Do you have an offer? Do you have an offer that's packaged and positioned to sell accordingly? So what do I mean by that? Packaged and positioned to sell accordingly. First off, let's talk. There's so much to talk here. I have an hour with you guys, and I'm so blessed to be here and just to be able to speak to you guys. Let's talk about this. Package, market, sell. All right. Are you packaged and are you positioned to sell? So let's talk about positioning really quick. All right. What does positioning mean? Ponder it. What does positioning mean? Oh, that's good positioning. What does that mean? There was an amazing I ordered Papa John's the other day. Why is he talking about Papa John's? I'll explain in a second. I ordered Papa John's the other day and I got the pizza box. And on the pizza box, you know how like they have all the creative things on the pizza box and like, you know, on the pizza box it said get paid to sing in your car. Apply now to Papa John's. And while Papa John's could have said apply to Papa John's, we're paying $5 an hour, they positioned it. Get paid to sing in your car. That is the power of positioning. It's taking something, refining the vocabulary to it to make it sound enticing, to make it sound appealing, to position it in the right way that's going to appeal to your consumers. So when you're able to position and package an offer that you were able to recognize through overlooked, underutilized opportunities, now you have something that's enticing to the market. So again, if you are able to recognize overlooked, underutilized opportunities, package and position in a way that the market wants, you're going to be able to generate revenue online. Well, where do I even start? Let me take a drink of water real quick. H2O. This has been brought to you by Kirkland Water. No, I'm just kidding. Kirkland is not a sponsor. Joke. A kid. So I digress. So package, market, sell. Package, market, sell. You want to start an online business. You're not sure how. It all starts with an offer. What do you want to sell? Well, there's so many things you can sell. Again, there's e-com, there's high ticket coaching, there's digital agency, right? Now, if you know nothing about online, absolutely nothing, then like telling you to go start a coaching program is definitely going to be counterintuitive because what are you really going to coach people on? I mean, maybe you're a fitness coach. Maybe you're a fitness coach and you want to help people lose weight. Guess what? That is super valid. You can now become a high ticket coach. Let's say you want to sell other people's things online. Now we're tapping into e-commerce, right? If we look at the online space, this is a model that's not going away for the foreseeable future. I mean, there's people who spend money every single day on e-commerce platforms like Amazon, like Walmart, like Shopify. So again, when you look around at the way that people are generating revenue online, they are literally there's so many different ways and opportunities. So what is that opportunity for you? I want you to ponder that. Okay. Let's if you have a pen, I want you to write with me. Okay. Let's say you can go on an e-com model, right? You can go agency model. I'll talk about each one of these models here in a second. All right. You can go e-com, you can go agency, you can go coaching. All right. And then I'm going to keep it simple for you guys because again, there's so many things you can do. E-com, we're a reseller of goods and services. Agency, get this, check this out. At agency level, we're still a reseller of goods and services. Reseller of goods and services, the Monster Energy drink you buy on Amazon, right? The person who's selling that is just a reseller of Monster Energy drinks. So they're just simply reselling the brand on the platform, right? And getting compensated to do so. They're a reseller of goods and services. Everything that you buy is resold either through, bought at wholesale and then sold at retail. So if you can figure that out with a product, if you can figure that out with a service, if you can figure that out with something valuable, arbitrage, overlooked, underutilized opportunities, you're going to be able to make a lot of money online. So how do you do this as somebody who knows nothing about online business, who knows nothing about business in general, or maybe someone who's trying to optimize what it is that you're doing? How can you begin to take what you're doing and optimize it even further? Package, market, sell, arbitrage, looking at the market for opportunities that have been underutilized and overlooked, and adding them and stacking them to your offer. I have a client. I'm going to tell you guys a story. I have a client named Joe, and I'm pretty. If you're watching Joe, shout out to Joe. Joe was selling a $500 piano course. Phenomenal piano player, phenomenal course, and he was having a hard time selling it. And I said, "Well, Joe, like, what are the deliverables? Deliverables are what comes with the product, what comes with the program. What are the deliverables? Oh, you get a course and you get, a little bit of support. Well, how can we package and position this? Again, we go back to positioning. How can we package, position, market, and sell this to where it would be enticing? I don't know, Alex. What can we do? Why don't we do this, Joe? Why don't we go find somebody who's a manufacturer of a keyboard and then just add it to our package? So we buy the keyboard at wholesale, we put it in our package, and rather than charging $500, let's charge $1,000. What? Who's going to buy that? Trust me. Let's charge $1,000. They're coming in, they're getting a brand new keyboard. They're getting the coaching to learn how to play it, the video modules, the support. What else can we add in there, Joe? He starts brainstorming. Oh my God, let's add this, let's add this, let's add this. Boom. Now he has a high ticket offer. Nothing changed. He just added more into the pile of deliverables, package, market, sell. What can we do that's going to make this more enticing? Arbitrage, overlooked, underutilized opportunities. And I know I sound really, really repetitive, but what I'm trying to do is literally plant the seed. Plant the seed on what arbitrage is, because it comes at various levels. Got level 1, level 2, level 3. There's so many different things to tap into in this online space. Let's talk digital agency. Okay, so let's say you want to start a digital agency. You want to start a marketing agency. You want to start a marketing agency. You don't really know what you're doing. You've never really been doing this. All it comes down to is finding the providers who can offer the service, which is no more simpler than typing in Google white label services for blank. It doesn't even have to be digital agency. White label services for dog walkers, white label services for Facebook ads, white label services for YouTube ads. You're going to be able to find somebody who will be a provider of what it is that you're trying to sell. So if you're listening to me out there and you want to start a business, all you need is a white label provider to be able to fulfill it. You don't need to know how to do absolutely everything. It's Jack Ma. Jack Ma, the CEO of Alibaba, says, I'm not smart. I hired smart people around me to build what it is that we build today. And I did the same exact thing as Jack Ma. I'm not saying that I'm not intelligent. I'm not saying Jack Ma's not intelligent, but I had to surround myself with people who would allow me to take myself to the next level, who would allow me to take my business to the next level. So with that being said, when you're able to tap into white label fulfillment services, and I want you to write that one down, white label fulfillment services, now you're able to get the fulfillment that you need to be able to go out there and sell to the market. What do you want to sell? Is it e-com? Is it digital agency? Is it high ticket coaching? What is it that you can offer the market? It's just finding an offer. It's just finding an offer. That's it. If you can find an offer, you can package that offer, you can market that offer, you can sell that offer, then you're good. So let's talk about the next thing here. Selling. All right. What do I mean by selling? Is it where we're shoving our product down people's throats and saying, buy my product, and no, like, a lot of people hear the word sales and they see salespeople and they get turned off. They have like this stigma. Okay, they have this stigma, or this certain what's the word I'm looking for? Certain I guess stigma. Let's roll with stigma. Okay, they have this certain label attached to them that they're salesmen and they're sleazy. But one thing that I've learned about sales is it's all about relationships. It's all about authenticity. It's all about being your true self, because people can smell your BS. I'm not going to curse on here. People can smell your BS 10 miles. I mean, sorry, 10 feet away. All right. Not 10 miles. That's a little too far. People could smell your BS 5 feet away. So if you're not showing up as your best self, if you're not showing up your most authentic self, and you're trying to sell something, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So with that being said, how do you sell someone? How do you have an online business in the social media age? What can you do? Like, how do you get clients? How do you get customers? Maybe you got a business and you just need clients and you just need customers. Maybe it's that simple. Maybe you're in the starting phases. I'm going to make sure that my contacts information's here, and I'll give you guys my domain and my website at the end of this so everyone has it. Um, what like where do you start? How do you get your first client? I remember after I had, gotten out of being homeless, I had become a job. I had gotten a job as a hotel manager. It was like my first job after living in the tent. I was actually still living in the tent, and I would go to work and shower at work and yeah, I was a hotel manager for several months, working the night shift, and I saved up enough money to buy a car and then moved back to the East Coast in Washington D.C. And I remember the day that I packed up all my stuff. I remember working overnight, starting my business, Analytics Consulting Group. That was the first business that I ever started. It doesn't exist. You'll probably still find it on LinkedIn or something, but it doesn't exist today. Analytics Consulting Group. And I remember starting analytics, being so excited, having an offer, but not knowing how to get clients. Where do I get clients? How do I get my next clients? I did the whole cold calling thing, went and bought list, da 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 da, beep beep beep, dialed. Hey, my name's Alexander of Luck. Click. Cold calling didn't work. Cold email didn't work. What was I doing wrong? Why couldn't I get clients? Why couldn't I get customers? And it was simple. I wasn't being authentic. I thought I had to sell. See, selling and closing are two different things. You want to close. You want to close. One more time. Selling and closing are two different things. I don't want to sell you on anything. I want you to sell yourself. I want to close you on it. I want to close you on why it is that you're selling yourself, why it is that you should buy this product. Does it help you? Will it help you? If I firmly believe that my offer can help you in your position, it's not a sell. I don't have to convince you of anything because you and I both know that this could potentially help you. And if not, I'm not going to spend my time trying to convince you. That's the issue that we face in the sales process. Is people want to convince. Like I had a guy who popped in my inbox the other day, didn't even build, and we're going to go in the stages of like how do we sell someone effectively, right? Didn't even like connect. There was no authenticity. There was no, it was just, hey, here's my services. Here's my price. Here's, book a call with me. A, do you know if I even need your services? B, what makes you different than everyone else? C, why should I book a call with you? And the answer to these are simple. Rapport. What does rapport mean? Rapport is simply the action of establishing connection and building trust and credibility in each other. So I'll give you an example of this. All right. If I'm building rapport, I'm asking you questions. I'm listening to you. I'm truly genuine and bought into what it is that you're saying. So how can we do this in a way? We don't have ad spend. We don't have money online to spend on Facebook ads. We're just starting out our business. We've got our offer. We've got our fulfillment team, but how do we sell it? This is where we get into something called organic prospecting. Write it down if you haven't heard of it. Organic prospecting. This is the act of reaching out to people, cold DM, direct message, reaching out to them, starting conversations. Where do I do with that? My friends list is filled with people that I don't even know what I do, right? This is where you have to start to expand your network. Your network is your network. This is where you really have to start to expand your network. It's like Facebook has a group for everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find a group for everything on Facebook. You're going to be able to find most of your prospects in the groups of what it is that you're selling. If you're selling weight loss group on Facebook. If you're selling, agency stuff, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, digital marketers on Facebook, agencies on Facebook. You can find any customer that you're looking for, but how do we get them on the phone with us to close them? Got to build rapport. How do we build rapport? You got to reach out to them, message them. It's as simple as this. This same opener has made me 6 figures online. Of course, it's not a voice drop. It's writing in the text, but I'll tell you how it goes. I'm going to use Ken. Ken's not here, but I'm going to pick on Ken. Hey, Ken, what's going on? I saw you in the GrooveFunnels community. I loved your post. If you don't mind me asking, what is it that you do? What's going to happen? They're going to respond back. Hey, Alex, thanks for reaching out, man. Yeah, I'm actually a coach in the digital space. So now I get to build that rapport with them based off of what they do. Awesome. How long have you been a coach for? Man, like maybe the last 3 or 4 years. Very cool. What would you say, like, inspired you to do that? So now I'm really building rapport. Now we're building trust with each other. And through that process, I'm able to dig into their pain points. What do I mean by pain points? Pain points, the things that are bothering them about their business. Because again, they're letting me know if I'm prospecting, it's weight loss. I mean, if I'm prospecting in a group for weight loss is their problem. If I'm prospecting in a group for marketing, marketing is their problem. There's some kind of issue that they're having, and that's their pain. And you're just digging into it by asking them questions, listening, and responding back with you can help them with the solution. Eventually, you'll build enough rapport to get them on a booked call. And then from that booked call, you're going to close them. So again, it's not just being scripted. It's not just being salesy. It's being personable. It's being authentic. It's being your true and highest authentic self. That is how you're going to generate more appointments. So with that being said, right, let's go ahead and backtrack here, right? Arbitrage. We have been able to find overlooked, underutilized opportunities to now be able to craft out an offer. So we have an offer. Now we package it. Our packaged offer, we now position. So now it sounds good to the market. The market knows what he wants. The market knows what they want. So then we go and we capitalize on that. Now that we know what the market wants, we're positioned, we have an offer, we have something to sell. Now it all becomes about selling. Going to Facebook groups, finding the people, messaging them, reaching out to them, saying, hey, what's going on? Nice to meet you. Just converting that into a booked appointment and closing them. Cool. Got it. We following the same page so far? I know I'm breezing through this, right? So now you got the closes, you got, that now how do you take your company from, let's say you just sold, you got your first client. It's a $5,000 client. Because again, you want to make $100,000 a year. Like you can sell low ticket, you can sell that's where we get in the argument, like e-com, right? E-com, you're tapping into like more volume. So you're selling lower margin products. What does it mean by lower margin products? Well, break it down to you like this. The Monster Energy drink at wholesale cost me $1. I'm going to sell it for $1.50. My margin is 50 cents. I made 50 cents on that. So with e-com products, you're dealing with, lower margin, higher volume. There's still a lot of money to be made in e-com, but it's a lot more lower margin products, right? So then you get into a model of drop shipping. Drop shipping, you're essentially, licensing out that product and then reselling it. Drop servicing is doing the same thing with services. So e-com, lower margins, more volume. Services, this is where we get into higher ticket. Because we're charging a service, we can now charge higher ticket. There's so many services. Me, myself, we sell a $100,000 offer. We give you 3 e-com stores. We build you 3 done-for-you e-com stores and for $100,000, right? There's people buying that because we have a market for it, because we positioned it, because we packaged it, and because we know how to sell it, right? So with that being said, when you are able to offer a service to someone, now you can charge something high ticket. And let's say you're trying to generate $100,000 a year, your first $100,000 a year. When you're selling something at $5,000 an offer, how many of those do you really need to sell in 365 days? Oh, wait, 20. 20. If you sell something for $5,000 over the course of 365 days, all you have to do is make 20 sales. And if the only thing stopping you from making a sale is you're reaching out to people on social media and networking and actually taking the massive action to putting your offer out there, then the only thing holding you back is you. Everything else just requires research. What do you want to sell? What do you want to position? What do you want to offer? What do you want to package? The rest is just taking the massive action to go out there and sell it. So by the end of this call, I'm going to have something super, super special for you. It's going to allow you to tap into all of this. All right. Whether you want to sell e-com, whether you want to sell digital agency, it's phenomenal. It's revolutionary. It's life-changing. And it's something that's going to be launched here in April, I believe. So you guys are getting like a first insider access look at what this is. So let me backtrack. Okay. I'm going to get myself excited here. I mean, if you see like a black eye, it's because I still am an active martial artist. Okay, maybe you guys didn't even notice, but I still am an active martial artist. I do train on the daily. So if you're like, why does he have a black eye? There you go. So now we know how to sell. How do we go from I just closed my first $5,000 offer to six-figure company? All right, let me tell you this. There's no magic sauce in how someone goes from $10,000 to $20,000, 20,000 to 50,000, 50,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to a million. I'm going to say this. Because I'm super passionate about this. Right now, the cryptocurrency craze, right? Don't get me wrong. Bitcoin, like it's pumping. It's at like $47,000 from where it was at like 3K earlier in the year. But people don't understand that they can get those same kind of returns by reinvesting their money in their business. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, if you made $5,000 and you go and you spend all of it, how much did you make? You made zero. But if you made $5,000 and you reinvest 3K into ads, which are going to get you more customers coming into your funnel and now book more calls to generate more closes, now that $3,000 maybe makes you $20,000. It's all about reinvesting, compounding your reinvestment. If you were to just reinvest right back into your business, you'd be at six figures in no time, right? Nobody likes to invest. It's like, let me take that back. Let me take that back. The people who are serious about their business know they need to invest and love to invest. The people who aren't really serious, they don't like to invest. So it's like, how much are you willing to grow your business by reinvesting? How much are you willing to part with? Because remember, you're not losing any money. You're reinvesting, and all of this is tax deductible at the end of the day. So, like, where are you reinvesting your profits? Are you reinvesting them back into marketing? And this is where you have to be able to diagnose your process. This is where you have to be able to diagnose your process. So I'm going to get real intricate here in a second, but it's all about reinvesting. You start selling, you start making money, you're generating that revenue. Where are we reinvesting it? Cool. It's awesome. We made $20,000. If you're making $20,000 a month and you go buy a Lambo, you're not going to grow your business. And then you're going to be sitting at yourself wondering why you can't sustain this lifestyle because you didn't reinvest. So reinvest, 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 reinvest. That's how we get to where it is that we want to be. That's how we go from 0 to 10K, 10K to 50, 50 to 100, and then from 100K to seven figures. Simply through compounding our reinvestment. Let me take a sip of water here. So let's recap. And then we'll dive into digital ecosystems here. What is a digital ecosystem? I'm glad you asked. All right. So came here, you want to start an online business, or maybe you wanted to optimize what you were doing. You understood that you needed to tap into arbitrage, recognizing, right, overlooked, underutilized opportunities. Once you've been able to do that, you know what's in the market, you know what the market wants, you go find a white label fulfillment partner who's going to be able to fulfill what it is that you do, unless you can do absolutely all of it and you're Superman. All right. Once you have that white label fulfillment partner, now you package, market, sell, position it accordingly. So now you know you have something sweet that the market wants. Once you do that, now it's all about the sales process. Once you reach out to people, you generate that sale, reinvest the revenue. Now you begin to start to grow at scale. Okay. Now, digital ecosystems. Let's talk about it. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me share. Cool. So this map that you're looking at, don't let it confuse you. And I'm going to go over this so you guys understand this in layman's term. This is my digital ecosystem. This allows me to know how I'm getting customers, where they're coming in, how we're following up with them. Like all this literally is a mind map in my mind to let me know where are my customers coming in, how are we following up with them, how are they getting on the phone, how is my sales team handling it, how are we onboarding them into the process. Okay, so if you're like wanting to start a digital or if you're wanting to start an online business, or you're wanting to optimize what you currently have, excuse me, you need to have a couple of areas dialed in. And this is all you really need. Okay. This is any digital platform. This is any process, right? All right. I'll break it down like this. You need traffic. All right. You need traffic on the front end. This is where you get your points of entry. This is where people are going to see you. Then you need something evergreen that's going to allow you to scale your time. You can't reach out to everyone, who comes into your process. But when you have a funnel or when you have landing pages, this allows you to duplicate yourself. This allows you to duplicate yourself and position the offer on a landing page, collect information, and fulfill that offer, completely automated. So again, we've got our traffic. I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys understand. All right. And if you notice here, all you'll see is this is like Facebook Messenger, my email list, LinkedIn posts, text messages, chatbot, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, podcast. You can make six figures with just one source of traffic. All right, just one source of traffic, you can make six figures. Now, what happens? That traffic sees an ad, they come in, they click a button, and now they're put into my funnel sequence. So many different funnel sequences you can use. And what is a funnel sequence? I'm just going to go here, aoelite.com. This is my website, by the way. If you want to come in, you want to book an appointment, feel free to go to aoelite.com, book an appointment with me. I am happy to sit with you and strategize. Okay. So now they're going to come to my website. They're going to go through and they're going to be like, oh, okay, cool. They either want to opt in or not. So they're going to be able to now apply for a done for you accelerator call. And what this is going to do is it's going to kick them over to my calendar. And now I can schedule them 100% completely automated. I didn't have to ask them, hey, what time works for you? Oh, that time works great for me. No, they get to go in here and based off of my availability, they can go in, book a call on a time that works best for them. They want to do 11:30 a.m. Cool, confirm. They would go in, they would fill out their information, and then from there, they would be on my schedule into a closing call. That's all this is. Literally what you saw just now, right? Granted, we didn't come through an ad. Traffic goes to website. What happens is they get on the calendar, and then once they're on the calendar, they hop on a Zoom call, right? And they either purchase or don't. All right. So I'm not gonna break into the intricacies of all of this, right? I'm just gonna show you this at face value. So we've got our traffic, we've got our funnel sequences. These are our landing pages, right? Now, 9 out of 10 times. All right, let me say not even 9 out of 10. Let's say 30%. 30% is a good number. 30% of people will most likely no show. These people who book calls or these people who opt into your offer, they'll most likely no show. So how do we engage these people who no show? They came in, they wanted to book a call with us, they got on the call, they scheduled the call, but they never showed up. Well, what happens is this is where you really have to rely on the process of automating, delegating, and eliminating. ADE. Automate, delegate, eliminate. Automate. What can you put in automation to run on autopilot? What can you delegate, give to other people? And what can you eliminate? What's no longer serving you that you can just throw out? All right. So with that being said, we've got our traffic sources, we've got our funnel sequences. So let's tap into our follow-up. Our follow-up is going to be completely automated. Our follow-up is how we retouch with people who have come into our process, but maybe they fell out. So this is where if you go look at your emails, you've got email campaigns galore. You got people writing emails galore. Now, if I can completely automate my follow-up and connect with each and every single one of my prospects who have entered my ecosystem, okay, then I know that I can put together a sequence over the course of the next 30 days. I spread it out every other day, right? If I do an email every 2 days, that's only 15 emails that I have to write. That's a 30-day sequence. And build trust and credibility through telling a story through each one of these emails. Day 0, sequence intro. Day 2, company info. Day 4, my PR articles. So now I'm able to build trust with them on the back end without ever speaking to them. And of course, in these emails, we're pointing them to the booking link. We're pointing them to other offers, right? We're making it sweet. We're making it enticing. So at the end of day 30, I can reach back out to them via phone call, say, hey, man, wanted to follow up with you. How's it going? Oh, hey, Alex, cool. I've been seeing your stuff. That is the power of automated follow-up. So again, traffic, funnel sequences, automation. Now, this is where it gets good. Without this, we don't make any money. The sales team. So we book calls. Cool. Call gets booked, right? Now, call gets booked. We obviously need our sales team to be able to take this. So our team member now gets on the phone, closes them. And if they're closed, they would now get onboarded into our process. Again, completely automated. What does that mean? Onboarding is simply the process of taking them from a prospect to a client. So whatever you sold them, you have to be able to fulfill that. How do you fulfill that? You need to have an onboarding process. What is an onboarding process? Well, I don't know. For you, it may be different. For someone else, it may be different. If it's a completely automated product and you don't have to do anything, You just send them it via email. If it's a service you have to deliver on, schedule an onboarding call. There's so many different things. Obviously, you can see here, you go through my ecosystem, high ticket purchase, they hop in the onboarding process, and now they would get an onboarding email, hop on the calendar, and then from there we would jump into client services. So now I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to recap everything that we had talked about. So we've got our traffic, we've got our funnel sequences, we've got our sales team ready to go in and tap into this, and we've got our automated follow-up on the back end. If you've got these 4 super simple, basic, because any way you chop it up, you can make this super intricate. If you've got these basic elements in your process, that's it. This will make you a simple 6 figures. This right here will make you 6 figures. Like just a simple landing page, something like this, to where you can send them to your front offer, right? From that front offer, get them on a booking call, right? I'm not on my front offer, but so get them on a front offer, get them to a call, and from there, get them on a call and close them. It doesn't get any more simpler than that. And honestly, I don't know what was stopping me, maybe my own action, from actually implementing this. When I started to implement this, literally my first week, I made $37,000 from literally not knowing how to make money online to learning the secrets, which was just appointment booking, just being able to reach out to my own people and get them to book appointments. We're able to generate $37,000. I mean, if you go to the website, you're gonna be able to see massive amounts of social proof on what we're doing. Again, some of the publications we've been featured in, some of the results that we're generating for clients on the e-com side, right? To, you know, what we're spending for clients on ad spend. I mean, we spent over $25 million in ads last year, you know, so excuse me, guys. Let me take a sip of water here. So with that being said, the only way that any of this was possible was being able to recognize overlooked, underutilized opportunities, being able to partner with the right fulfillment teams who would allow me to do this, to where I can leverage their social proof. I can leverage everything that they're doing. I know they can get people results. Those are the kinds of people that I want to partner with. And those are the kinds of people you should want to partner with too. So I would challenge you. I would challenge you today. Today and going forward, I want you to recognize any opportunities that you can go out there and resell. And if, like, for me, you know, being a venture capitalist, we always look for opportunities. We always look for ventures that we can invest in. What do I mean by invest in? Well, let's say I see someone and they're selling something, and I know I can package, position, and market that better. So I'm going to approach said business owner. I'm going to say, hey, said business owner, I see what you're doing. I love it. If I can make it better and I can sell it for you and actually make you more money, would you be cool with that? Sure, absolutely. I'm open to the conversation. No one's going to turn that down. And essentially what we do is we find people's offers. This is what we do in AO8. We find people's offers. We help them convert better by package, positioning, market, and selling, you know, different variations of arbitrage, other opportunities that they perhaps didn't see was on the table, make their offer better, and therefore allow them to charge more. Now, as we're doing this, obviously we're taking it, you know, we're taking a split from it. But if you're able to find a great fulfillment team, or if you're able to recognize opportunity in the market and know that you can make something better, package, position, market, and sell it better than the business owner's doing, they're going to completely take you up on that offer 100%. So there's so many things you can do. You can do e-com, you can do agency, you can do consulting, you can do coaching, you can do so many different things. I want to make sure I'm not going over time here. So many different things. Question is, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And actually, I have something exciting that I want to show you guys. Let me see. Let's go back here. Cool. Ask yourself the following. I know I've talked about a lot today, and we're coming up on our last 15 minutes. I've talked about a lot today. And if anything you leave here today, you leave here knowing it's a lot more simpler than you're making it. You may be complicating it, saying you want to start a business. You think you need all these things. When I started online, I didn't have a single website. I didn't have a single landing page, didn't have a funnel, didn't have a social proof. I literally had myself, my authentic self, to go out there and sell what it is that I was selling. You got to start somewhere. You can't be afraid of failure, and you got to play the numbers game, right? what these 6, 7, 8 figure companies are doing is they're relying on data to make their decisions. They're relying on their KPIs, their key performance indicators, to make their decisions. What does that even mean? Okay. That means my KPIs are going to be a list of numbers that I'm tracking to know that that is health, like the growth of my company is being sustained in a healthy way or not so healthy. So, what do I mean? Let's say I'm generating $100,000. Cool. Of that $100,000, how much of that was profit? Or of that $100,000, how many appointments did we need to convert to generate that $100? How much did we pay for that appointment that generated X amount of revenue? Right? It's looking at these numbers to make your decisions. Oh man, maybe my cost per appointment was $15, and that's really good. Now I'm going to dump $20,000 back into the business because I know $15 got me one booked appointment. So now if I throw $20,000 back into the business, I know I'll get X amount of appointments. And vice versa. Let's say my appointments are costing me $80 an appointment. Well, I'm going to pause my ads, figure out what decisions to make, and then turn them back on. That gets a little bit more complicated. That gets a little bit more intricate. And I do teach all of these various solutions on how to grow and scale your online business. Um, with that being said, there's so much to tap into. And if you're out there and you're trying to find an offer, or you're trying to start an online business, or you want to optimize what you already have, I have a solution for you. All right. So I'm really excited. April 1st, we are launching our new software slash coaching program, AOE 2.0. Now, this is going to be phenomenal. This is going to be life changing because every business owner, they need software. They need a CRM, they need landing page builders, they need all the whole shebang and suite of software, but they also need the fulfillment services to recognize the arbitrage in the market, right? So what if we could develop a solution that had all the softwares that you needed bottled in one, that had all the fulfillment that you needed bottled in one? What if everything could be just included and baked into one platform that allowed you to fulfill your orders, whether that was building people e-com stores, whether that was giving people Facebook ads, whether that was delivering people public relations, PR articles, putting them in press outlets? What if you had the power to do that with clicks of a button? Well, I got news for you. It's possible, and I'm going to make it possible with our new software, AO Elite 2.0. I'm going to share my screen here and show you what we're working with here. Da, 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 da. Beautiful. So coming into the software, I want to show you guys essentially like what we have here. Like, what can we do with this, right? So when you guys are going out there and you're trying to find the right fulfillment partners, it can get messy. It can get really messy because you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to deliver on. You don't know if they can get the job for you done. So what I've done is I've essentially just shortcut everything for you. Let me go here. Sorry. I'm gonna reshare my screen. All right. I have shortcut everything here for you. So essentially you need the fulfillment services. Guess what? We're going to provide these fulfillment services for you at scale. Let's say you need to run Facebook and Instagrams, customer rush pack, agency jumpstart consulting, funnel building, Google and Bing ads, HIPAA compliant, everything that you could possibly think that a business needs. We're providing these white label fulfillment services right here in our very platform. Okay, this is not available to the public right now. You cannot buy this software right now. It is 100% completely off the market. The only way you can get it is right here on this this particular live. So with that being said, we've got the fulfillment baked in right into our platform that allows you to do some very, very powerful things. I mean, we're talking the automations, we're talking the sales process, we're talking the pipeline. So if you have the ability to go and book appointments and have conversations with these appointments, track them in the pipeline, maybe the bookings confirmed, and different automations trigger, dial in your email campaigns, build your funnels and websites. Let's go here. I'm going to go to funnels. All right. So now I can build, let me see, go to my template library, or I can create a new funnel. There's so much I can do in here, from building landing pages, building websites, building membership portals, booking my appointments. Listen, There's so many different softwares out there. And if you were to go buy all these different softwares and bundle a calendar and a CRM and a funnel building site and, Twilio, to do SMS converse, like I can literally at the click of a button message all of my prospects in my pipeline. Now the software is new. We don't really have anybody. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Who do I have? Who do I have here? Let's go to opportunity. Let's go to conversations here. Not sure I have any conversations in here right now. Cool, cool. Hey, mini test. So now I can go through, I can send SMS or emails to my clients that I'm talking to. I can go to the opportunities in the pipeline. And from here, I know where they're at. I know if they're in a call one or a call two or a booked call. So now I can click on the name. I can go to the conversation. I can call them right from this platform. I can do all my calling, all my prospecting, all my emailing, all my text messaging, all my sales tracking, all my website building, all my scheduling, and yes, all my fulfillment services baked in one platform. Now, if this seems all too good to be true, guess what? It's reality. I'm literally going to flip the online coaching, consulting, and agency space on their head by providing an all-in-one platform for you guys to utilize. Now you're probably wondering, like, how much does something like this cost? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I was not, let me just say this. Let me reiterate. I was not prepared to come here today and make an offer, but I want to make this possible for you guys to tap into the very same infrastructure, the very same fulfillment pieces that I'm using right now to generate over 6 figures a year. All right. So what does something like this cost? Well, sure. If you were to go and package your position, maybe you would pay, let's say ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels would be $1,200. I'll write this out for you guys. ClickFunnels would be $1,200 a year at $97. All right. Plus add Calendly at the basic level, right? 15 times 12. I'm not a mathematician here. I'm going to make this sweet though. I'm going to make this sweet. All right. Let's say 15 times 12. Again, I didn't claim to be a mathematician now. It's 180, right? So that's 1,200 plus 180. So we're at 1,380 right now in systems for the year, okay? 1,380. What else do we have? We've got, you need your calendar systems, you need your funnel building, you need your CRM. All right, so let's say a nice CRM will probably cost you $250 a month. That is going to be another 3K. All right, so now we've got 1,380. That's $4,300. Sorry, $4,400. 4,380 is the number I'm looking at. There we go. That's the number right there. $4,400 a year in software. I'm going to save you, right? You guys don't have to go out there and invest in booking systems. You don't have to go out there and invest in a funnel builder. And I'm going to make it sweet. I'm going to give you the fulfillment to make your money back. I'm going to give you the fulfillment to now have an online business, to have a digital agency, to have a coaching program, to have a PR agency, whatever kind of agency you want to start. I've got the tools. Not only that, I'm going to bake in the coaching on exactly how to use it. Now, usually this would go somewhere, anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000 for everything that I'm offering here. I'm going to give it to you guys. Okay. I'm going to give it to you guys today, lifetime access for the entire lifetime of the software. I'm going to give you lifetime access today. Drum roll, please. For 2,000, for 2K, you're going to get lifetime access to all the systems that you ever need to run your online business, to the fulfillment teams that you need to produce the results for your business. Oh yeah, and the online coaching to make sure you know what it is that you're doing, to make sure you understand your client journey, to make sure you understand your ecosystem. What if by the end of next year or by the end of this year, 2020, you could be closing $50,000 12-month packages? What if by the end of this year, you could be closing $5,000 high ticket coaching? What if by the end of this year, you could build an e-com store? What if? The answer lies with you, my friends. The answer lies with you. It is literally your decision. It's up to you and how you play your cards. But trust me, if I can do this, if a homeless man can do this and become a multiple 6-figure business owner, I'll drop it right here. If a homeless man can do this and become a 6-figure business owner, you guys can do this. So I'm gonna give you guys the steps here. This link's gonna be posted on Facebook. But again, if you have any questions about this, I was not prepared to make an offer today. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys to my landing page here. If you guys are interested, I want you to go ahead. I want you to book a call with me. I'll be happy to hop on with you. I'm super, super excited to just be able to launch this to the public and give you guys the help and the service that you need, providing you the fulfillment, providing you the CRM, all the software and the systems you could ever need, and to personally give you the coaching. Again, this is a $15,000 to $20,000 offer. I'm going to give you guys lifetime access for $2K. So here's the deal. How do we do this, right? Again, I don't have a landing page. This is being released in April. I'm releasing it to you early right now. All right. So how do we do this? All right. I want you all to go to aoelite.com. And again, you can read our landing page, look at our social proof, but the idea here is I want you to get on. I want you to book a call with us. Come here, put in your email address, apply for a Done For You accelerator call. Either me or my team members will be there waiting to speak with you. And again, I'm really excited to be able to help you and possibly take you to the next level. So that's all I got. And
wow,
again,
I did not expect that.
Thank you so much, man.
I did not expect that today. Wow. So very cool. What's the biggest question you expect people to ask you about this, Alex?
The biggest question that I expect people to ask me about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many questions, man. Where do?
Well, you got just shy of 4 minutes. So you tell me.
Oh man. Okay. Let's go. How do I know what offer to pick? How do I know if I want to sell e-com? How do I know if I want to sell digital agency? How do I know if I want to sell high ticket coaching? Well, I make it simple. What do you know? And if the answer is you don't know anything, let us just pair you with a proven leveraged offer that we know is going to sell.
That's awesome.
Go out there and sell it. We'll teach you how to sell it. Again, I'm going to provide you the coaching to know how to sell it. I'm going to provide you the fulfillment to be able to deliver on those results. And I'm going to provide you all the software you ever need for the rest of your life.
That's very cool. I'm waiting for, after we're done with this, I want to see the demo of this. This is cool. So backstory to this, you guys, just last night, I mean, like not more than 12 hours ago, Alex was like, you should hear what I'm up to. I'm like, okay. I didn't expect that you would hear about it before, right now. That's pretty cool. So what was the motivation for you to jump into this fray that is so filled with Infusionsoft Active Campaign and so many others? And you've got 1 minute to tell me.
Absolutely. It was the fact that none of these platforms have the baked in fulfillment with it. None of the platforms have the ability, like, yeah, you've got the software to be able to make it go live, but do you have the sales team to support it? Do you have the infrastructure to support it? And that's essentially what this is. That's neat.
Yeah, because, most people don't have that infrastructure. They don't have those resources. They have the idea, but everything else.
They've got everything else. They've got all the, I just talked to a lady today, as a matter of fact. She has all the pieces she needs to make 6 figures. She just didn't have the systems, the processes. That's it at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. And that's the critical part. I mean, an event like this, for example, is all systems and processes. It totally is, making sure that we're live on the right streams, making sure that when we're not live, the replays are played on appropriate time, making sure that things are posted properly to the Facebook group, to the dashboard, and so on. There's a lot of mechanics going on. And right now our team is manually doing a lot of it. But once you set up the automation, it's great, which is kind of cool, which is really kind of cool. So to have tools like that, I think it's fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And I couldn't be more excited to be part of your secret internal launch to World Love Week. That's very cool. And we're excited about it. And I want to definitely hear more about it. So we'll have this posted. I know it's being posted in the Facebook group right now. Also, it'll be on the dashboard as well. And that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have just a couple more seconds before we go off of this particular scene until the next one. Actually, about 15 seconds to be exact. That's code to my team in the background. So Alex, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that. Absolutely. And stay tuned for more of World Love Week.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you?
next guest is a person who is legendary. Some of the antics that he has shenanigans, shall I say, that he has experienced in front of our eyes, those of us who've been subjected to him in seminar and training rooms, will never be forgotten. You can't unsee some of the things that we have seen. But that said, though, he has a heart of gold. He has a really wonderful other half who actually we like a lot better anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, who may still be talking to me after this is over, Professor Tom Beal. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in.
There we
All
go.
right. Hey, there I am. I can see you. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. And Ken, I don't disagree with you. You're a smart man for liking her better than me anyhow. So
for a second, you look a little bit like Chris Cuomo, a younger, better looking Chris Cuomo. Just for that whole, it's like, okay, without the corona. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, without the corona, as far as we know. All right. So thanks for having me here. I'm excited to be here. Congratulations for both of you for being on so long and bringing on so many valuable people to share some insights. I've been plugging in and enjoying the amazing insights that have been shared. Was on for Brianna, was on for Timothy, was on for Kevin Wilkie, and a whole bunch of other good ones. So I'm excited to be here and drop some knowledge that can help people get from where they are to where they want to be during the world being flipped upside down and life as we know it. Pretty much there's no back to normal button from my perspective. There's no like, okay, great, we'll be back to normal. No, normal's gone. There's going to be a new normal, and it's up to you with this blank sheet of paper that you have to design the life, to become the architect of what type of life are you wanting to lead now that we have this blank sheet of paper. So, I mean, Ken, you just graduated high school just a couple years ago, right? So, we all have this saying, like, if I knew then what I now know, I would have done it differently. And Raquel, same thing. Like, we have this, man, imagine if I knew then what I now know. Well, we're in this spot now with this blank sheet of paper to pretty much re-engineer our lives. Knowing what I now know, this is called back from the future thinking. What would I do differently? Knowing what I now know, what would I do differently to create income? Knowing what I now know, what would I do differently to be in the optimal health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? Knowing what I now know, what would I do differently in my relationships? So I break it down into health, relationships, and finances. And thinking about that for each of them, it's a blank sheet. Knowing what you now know, what would you have as the answers to these 4 questions? Because there's a quote, Ken, I can't remember who the heck came up with it, but it's this, and you may remember, Ken.
Make it a quiz.
All right, a quiz.
I'm gonna say this quote, and somebody guess who did it.
There we go. Here it is. So, and
right.
it's someone who's not super famous, but the person I heard it from, Ken, you may remember. So he says this: lack of clarity is the root of all failure. Lack of clarity is the root of all failure.
You play the Jeopardy theme for this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So
I want to say Napoleon Hill, but I
wish. I know a lot of Napoleon Hill quotes. I'll probably give a couple more of those, but this one was just someone that's alive and with us now. And he's up in Tampa. He does huge amounts of real estate, and he's an investor. He was in
Grant Cardone.
Nope.
He's in Miami.
He's in Miami.
But anyhow, he's been on the marketer's cruise. He's got his own cruise that he does with Captain. Anyhow, so I heard it from first. And anyhow, I love the quote, so I'm now taking it. So you can put. People take my quotes all the time, as we all do. But I'm not the originator of it. But when I heard it, I was like, whoa, that's a writer downer. Lack of clarity is the root of all failure. So it really boils down to, with this blank sheet of paper we all have in this new normal, this new world we're all entering, where do I want to take myself with my health, my relationships, and my finances? So I have put together what I call the 4 questions. I call it the Quiver of Clarity, the Quiver of Clarity, quiver as in the quiver of an arrow that hits the bullseye, right? So
Gotcha.
Quiver, not the shaking in your boots quiver, right?
I kind of figured that one. That was good.
Right.
I'm glad you had that distinction.
Yes. So these 4 questions will give you the clarity to give that laser focus so you can be better than Robin Hood and hit that arrow directly in. And so these 4 questions are very important for you to write down and for you to take them and go do the work. Because there's a quote from Jim Rohn that says, things that are easy to do are easier not to do. So these are simple 4 simple questions that I'm going to give you the process. And now it's easy, but it's easier not to do. So I'm challenging you to watch, you watching this, whether it's live or whether you're watching the replay, to sit down and do this, because this 15 to 30 minutes could transform your upcoming future. So the first question is, what do I need to start doing? Now, in this day and age, there's a lot of overwhelm. There's a lot of busyness. And so the answer is not listing 10, 20, 30 things to start doing. The answer is the one thing for each of those 3 areas. So the one thing for your health, the one thing for your key relationships, the one thing for your finances that has the potential to 10x each of them. So the one thing in your health that you're currently not doing that if you start doing could dramatically, exponentially jump your health up. So just to give you an example, for people that aren't moving, if they're sedentary and sitting around, starting to move is a good thing. Now we call starting to move working out, right? And what that means to you is something different. If you hate bike riding, don't say, oh, I need to go start bike riding. If you hate running, don't say, oh, I need to go start running. In essence, pick what is the movement that you can begin taking that will get you from sedentary to moving. Now, I'm in decent health, right? I'm 47, I think. Yeah, 47 years old. I forget. I feel like late 20s still.
You're a baby. You're a baby.
Yes. So we all have our starting point. But for me, I have been in the Marine Corps, and I have been a wrestler, and I worked out like a madman in my younger years. But the last few years, I don't even go to the gym. My working out is walking and sex, right? So walking and sex is all that I do. So that's it for the workout. So that could be a nice book.
And that's why Wanda's so happy.
Yeah, Wanda's in shape too. That's right. So walking is simple, is easy. It's not something that you have to say, oh crap, I gotta go talk to my doctor to see if I can walk. Walking is something we all can do. Now, I walk at a fast pace, and my morning routine when in South Florida was walking from the house to the beach, which is roughly 2 miles there and 2 miles back. So it's a 3.8 miles technically round trip that took me about an hour. Now on the hour, it's getting my body moving. So my muscles are moving, my heart's beating, my lungs are breathing, I'm getting the sunshine, I'm getting the air, and I'm in motion. But that's helping my physical body, but it's also in health, but it's also helping my mental and emotional health too. Because, just all of that, but I'm also plugging into today's day and age. We have these handy dandy things which can suck away all of our time if we let them, or be used productively. So when I'm on here, one of the apps I use regularly is the Audible app. And this one was the one I'm listening to right now, Wayne Dyer, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao. So when I'm on my 1 hour walk in the morning, I'm listening to audios at 3x speed. You can train your mind to listen faster than normal speed.
Oh.
So 1.5x, 2x, 2.5x, 3x. So every morning for my hour routine, I'm listening to 3 hours of great information coming into my mind. Wow. So I'm mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually starting my day off tremendously well. So if you're not moving, I would ask you to say, what's the answer to your first question? Remember, we have 4 questions we're going to talk about. The first one is, what do I need to start doing? Well, if you're not moving, start moving is the first step to better health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Would you agree? So that's for health. Now for relationships, there's some different answers for that. What's that for you? You got to first identify who your key relationships are. We can't give the same, relationships aren't equal. We can't give the same amount of time, energy to everybody. We have to determine, who are my people, personally and professionally, and even socially nowadays. Who are my people? And with people, guess what time equals? Time equals love in relationships. If you're not giving time to those relationships, there's no love there. So now let's skip over to finances. We're here mostly to talk about finances. So with your financial situation, you have to ask yourself, what's the one thing that I'm currently not doing that if I start doing has the potential to exponentially raise my results? So what do I need to start doing is that first question. So I will throw a potential hint out there that I've shared with many other people throughout my endeavors over since about 2005. I started telling this particular strategy. I call it a no expectation meeting. And so what that means is, in our network, and I heard Timothy Johnson say, pretty much the quote that says we're in essence the grand total of the 5 people that we spend most time with. So if you're hanging out with people that are financially doing well, you're in the right spot. When I first heard that, I looked around with my friends. And I'm like, I'm screwed, because my friends are broke, fat, and and not in the best relationships. So and they're not bad people, but it's just I need to find better friends that I can associate with and be around that are living the life in certain areas that I would like to emulate and would like to learn from. So no expectation meetings might be something you want to put on to start doing. In this time where everyone's kind of detached from their normal busyness, now's a great time to reach out to the people that you maybe haven't chatted with in a while, but it's good to connect. And when you connect with a no expectation meeting, it's exactly that. I have no expectations other than to see how you are, what you're up to, and vice versa. You can hear how I'm doing and what I'm up to. And then there may be some possibilities for us to discuss of what some future things might be that are beneficial to both of us. So with no expectation calls, I'd go to live events, I'd meet people, and I would schedule those no expectation calls. And one of them in January of 2005 was an amazing event that I met Rich Sheffrin, I met Mike Filsame, I met a whole bunch of great people there. March of 05, I met Mike Filsame again, and we followed up after that event. So no expectation meetings are in essence living proof of the quote that many of you may have heard, the money is in the follow-up.
Yeah.
You ever heard that? The money is in the follow-up? Well, it's true. You have to follow up. If you see people at events and you never chat with them again, hey, I saw you, it doesn't work out so well. But for those people, and similarly at an event, when you cross paths with people, not that anyone's bad or good, but some people you resonate with and some people not so much. And it's like, okay, who are the people that I want to follow up with after this? That I just feel there was a connection and I want to follow up and see if we can take things a little bit further. And so you reach out. So one of them was Mike Filsame. I reached out after the event and we stayed in contact all through 2005. He had some cool things going on. I was president of a company with NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly from the Buffalo Bills. I had some cool things going on. And we were, collaborating and helping one another out and being that lifeline. Hey, I got this problem. What am I missing? And having those chats. And so through that whole year, 2005, we kind of, as a friend, helped one another out. And then in early 2006, there was one of those conversations that we had that led to me calling him back up and said, hey, you know what? Why don't we team up? And so we teamed up. Right. And in teaming up in early 2006, from 2006 to 2011, we produced tens of millions of dollars of results together, produced several product launches that were multi-million-dollar product launches, conducted many live events, spoke on stages around the world, and did a lot of great things. We impacted hundreds of thousands of lives positively during that time frame. So no expectation meetings can turn into tremendously lucrative and fulfilling possibilities. Right. So no expectation conversations. Schedule those if you don't have them. All right. So that's the first question. What do I need to start doing? Remember, the answer is only one thing that has the potential to 10x your results. The next question is, what do I need to do more of? What do I need to do more of? What the answer to this is narrowing it down into the Pareto Principle, which I've heard mentioned several times. Timothy Johnson brought it up. It's the Pareto Principle is 20% of your activities produce 80% of the results. And so so I'll give it, for example, the answer for business to what do I need to do more of? Here's how you break it down. You take a blank sheet of paper and you write down every activity that you currently do related to your business. All the activities, even the minimum wage activities, especially the minimum wage activities. Well, I go to the post office once a month. So on a given month, what are the things that you do for your business? Write it all down. Now we have to narrow it down to what are the most important activities, the needle moving activities. And here's how you find what those are. You ask yourself, okay, if I could only do out of this whole list one thing in the upcoming month that would keep the business going and growing, what would that one thing be? So it uses discernment. You have to narrow down out of all those things that you do, what's the one thing that would keep the business going and growing? And narrow it down and figure that out. And you'll say, well, there's 3 or 4 different things. Well, pick the first one first. And what you've just done is narrowed down the answer to what's the best use of my time, because that's the most value activity that is now clear to you. That's out of all the things to do, that's one of the most important. That's what we call the big rocks. Have you ever seen the example where they have the pickle jar with the big rocks, the little rocks, the sand, and the water.
Right. Yeah.
You can't fit it in if you don't put the big rocks in first. Well, you can't grow your business, you can't grow your health, you can't grow your relationships if you don't put the big rocks in first. And guess what? If you don't put them in first, time is going to be taken by other things, the smaller rocks, the sand, the water. So put those big rocks in first. And so you've narrowed down the first activity. So now that's your most important priority and activity. Then you look at the list and say, what's the second most important activity? Okay, so then the third. So you pick 3 to 4 things max out of that entire list of things that you do in a given month. And what you've now just narrowed down is what Dan Sullivan calls your unique abilities. These are the things you can't outsource, you can't delegate, you can't systemize. This is what's yours to do. So let me pause here. I know and I'm speaking a little fast, kind of 3x speed like I do in the morning because we're in a tight time frame here. I want to get this massive value out to you. But here's the other thing. Things that are important to us, where do they go? They go on our calendar. So let me take a step back. So when you decided what your answer to the first question was, what do I need to start doing? All right, if that's true, then you schedule it. You put it in your calendar because it's not a habit yet. You have to do it for a certain amount of time before it becomes a habit. So you schedule it, and you schedule it with this in mind, as if it's with the most important person in the world, because it is. And that's you looking back in the mirror. Here's another thing you have to come to grips with. You are the most important person in the world for you. And what you need to stop doing is letting yourself down. Ken, we're here on this conversation because you said be there at 9 a.m. Eastern. And here I am, 9 a.m. Eastern. Why? Because I put it in my calendar and I'm a man of my word and I do what I say. There used to be a time in my life where I would schedule stuff in my calendar and blow it off. Yeah. If I wouldn't blow off Ken, if I wouldn't blow off anybody, why would I blow off the most important person in the world? Does that make sense? So for you watching this, you are the most important person in your world. So when you schedule it, you be there. Don't let yourself down, because it's easy, Ken, for you and I to say, hey, you know what? Let's start working out. Okay, great. If you're not meeting at the same time, or we're not holding each other accountable, it's easy to let ourselves down. But if we told one another we'd be there, we won't want to let one another down. So exactly. You have to use some games to make sure you're not going to let yourself down. So it's just a decision. Like, look, when I schedule something in my calendar, it's as if it's with the most important person in the world, because it is. So first of all, so let's go back to the answer to number 1, schedule it in your calendar. Now the answer to number 2, the question number 2 was, what do I need to do more of? Those are your 3 to 4 unique abilities. You schedule them into your calendar as well. So now you've got, let's say 4 plus 1, and let's just say they're an hour each. So now you got 5 hours scheduled of the most important activities for your business, the things that you're going to start doing, and the 3 to 4 things that are the absolute best use of your time. Those are your big rocks. Here's what happens, Ken. When my clients do this, they're like, holy crap, this works. Like, I'm working less and I'm getting further progress, because it's the counter to what normally happens in anybody's life, because the Pareto Principle, no matter how fine-tuned you are with it, still works out to the fact that 20% of your activities produce 80% of your results, and 80% of your activities only produce 20% of your results. And even when you know this, and even when you're doing these 4 unique abilities plus your one thing you're going to start doing, when you're not doing that, guess what? All the other stuff is going to try to pull your time and attention away. And we're going to get to how you can prevent that. So when you schedule this, what you give attention to grows. When you're putting attention to the big rocks, you're going to see very fast trajectory of things changing for a positive direction for you. Wow, I'm working less and gaining more progress because I'm focusing on those big rocks. The third question is, what do I need to do less of? What do I need to do less of? The answer is everything else on that list.
That's right.
Everything else. So here's the magic to this. It doesn't magically disappear, right? So there's not a point where, I just going to neglect all those other things. But here's the difference, Ken and Raquel. When you go to look to do those other activities, you already know they're not the absolute best use of your time. So when you're doing them, you're going to create a system and a process for them to be done that you can delegate, automate, or create a process for that gets done without you having to be the one to do it, right? So hey, I know this, I've already put my time and attention into the big rocks. Now, what do I need to do less of? This isn't one of my most important activities. So while I'm doing it, I'm going to create a system and a process so that it can still get done without me doing it. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time as you document that and create that system. But once that's done, now real quickly, those get crossed off your list. They're still getting done, but not by you, which is quite amazing. Then the fourth question is, what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to stop doing? Now, in business specifically, it's a double-fold answer. The first answer to that is a lot of things that we do, if we really break them down through this process, you can ask, well, why am I still doing that? Like when you write down every activity that you do in a given month, there's some activities you're like, man, that served a purpose years ago, but why am I still doing that? What's the use of me putting time, energy, and attention into that? And so a lot of times things may have come to an end, but they're still in your to-do list. So those are the things that, like there's that movie, the TPS report, the stuff that's not needed, stop doing it, right? That doesn't serve a purpose, or it served a purpose, but that chapter ended a while ago. Now it's time for me to stop doing that. Me and the whole company, it doesn't need to get done. Then the other aspect is, what do I need to stop doing is the things that are incongruent with the goals that you have. And so that's in today's day and age, as I mentioned earlier, this can be the most productive tool we can use, or the biggest time waster ever, as well as the computer. So if you have certain things that are pulling your time, it's time to stop doing it, right? So one example for me, years ago, my kids now, my son's 18, my daughter is 14, but 10 years ago when I was traveling with them and they were 8 and 4, I'd play, some video games with them on the phone, Plants vs. Zombies and things like that. And it'd be fun. We'd play the game and we compete while we're traveling and whatnot. And then one time I'm traveling by myself and I catch myself playing this game for, probably an hour or more. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? And so I deleted all the games from my phone just because I didn't feel that was the absolute best use of my time. So just yesterday, I deleted my Facebook app from my phone, because in today's day and age, there's a lot of rabbit holes that if you catch something, you can get pulled into, and you're watching a YouTube video and this and that. Next thing you know, 30 minutes or an hour is gone, and you break out of that hypnotic spell and you're like, what the heck am I doing? Is this the best use of my time? Time is the most precious asset we all have, and it's ever fleeting. We only have so much. So just for an instance, if we continually swipe and just waste time 30 minutes a day, that turns into roughly 4.5 work weeks in a year, 30 minutes a day. So do the math. And most people, 30 minutes a day, that's nothing. They're like, shoot, I spend hours searching and flipping through. So that adds up to 12 work weeks per year type of stuff. So you have to think about this stuff. Where is my most precious asset being invested, where it's going to give a return, or wasted, where it's just spent and gone? So the 4 questions to find that clarity, to make sure that if that first quote we talked about is true, lack of clarity is the root of all failure. The converse of that is clarity is the root of all success. So to find that clarity, go through these processes and answer the question, number 1, what do I need to start doing? The one thing that has the potential to 10x my business. 2, what do I need to do more of? My unique abilities, the 3 to 4 activities that are the absolute best use of my time. And then 3rd, what do I need to do less of? The things that are the 80% of activities that only produce 20% of the results. And the 4th question, I need to stop doing altogether. The things that are stealing my most precious asset of time, that it has also come to a close. No more of that. I'm cutting that and moving forward. And guess what? And Ken, you and I, in circles, we deal with people. I have clients that are doing tremendously well. It's different for everybody. I mean, This is an addiction creating machine. I mean, in the old days, addiction was alcohol, sex, and drugs, pretty much it. Now, addiction is games, and it can be specific games. Addiction is the dating apps. Addiction is YouTube. Addiction is Facebook. Addiction is Instagram. Addiction is TikTok, on and on and on and on. What's your thing that's stealing your time, your attention? And you know what? That's just, I'm done with that. And just step up and say, you know what? That served its purpose, but no longer. I'm going to invest my time in better areas. And there you go. So that's the 4 steps that can help you gain additional clarity in all of this craziness, Ken and Raquel.
You are on fire, mister. It's just like a force of nature this morning. It's totally awesome.
He's the cup of coffee.
Yes, exactly.
I'm telling you. It's
there
great.
we go. A good shot of some great information to get us going for like I don't know, however many hours we're in it by now.
Right. And I had 25 minutes, and that ended on 25 minutes. So
Yeah, I am
Because
so
you
proud
keep
of
your commitments.
yeah, right,
Yes.
right.
You're like the first one that that I would take responsibility because
Right. So I shared that same thing with Todd Brown's top 1%, and I won his $1 million presentation. So out of this room of people doing multiple millions, tens of millions, some hundreds of millions, there were 4 speakers. I gave this presentation, and I was voted as the winner of the most valuable presentation. So this is real world stuff that helps people that are just beginning or at the 100+ million mark. This is what really is important, because it's where we give that focused time and attention is going to be what our results are going to be shared. So in this time for you to have that blank sheet of paper, I hope this is your time to sit down and be the architect of your future, and just go back to if we knew then what we know now. Think about high school, think about college, think about now business and life. Knowing what you now know, how would you design your life? What would you do to be at the optimal health, to have the optimal relationships, to have the optimal financial situation? Now's your time to craft that. Become the architect, and watch how putting the time and attention to the answers that you just put out to these 4 questions will get you there quickly, efficiently, and effectively.
Yeah. Tom Beal, thank you.
So I do have a special for y'all. Now, one of the keys is leverage. Now, I leverage, leverage is, if I were to summarize success in one word, it's leverage. So I teamed up with Mike Filsaime, and I had some good things going. He had some good things going. Together, we made a faster trajectory. And so I then teamed up with Rich Sheffrin, same thing, teaming up with him. Together, we made a massive trajectory. So I teamed up with some of the top experts in productivity, the top experts in gaining clarity, and they're New York Times bestselling authors. We created an amazing course. It sold for $2,000. And I feel in this time, if you want to gain additional clarity and map out what your true amazing life will be, think of your multi-million-dollar home. Well, this is your multi-billion-dollar life that you want to draft. I teamed up with the absolute best New York Times bestsellers who are great at this. They coach the billion-dollar companies and the large corporate names that like and trust. And it sold for $2,000. We did over $500,000 in sales in the first week it opened at $2,000 each. And I want to gift it to your people, Ken, for $500. So give them a $1,500 break to gain access to that. And then have an additional value inside the course. There's a way to gain access to a success intake form that would then answer these questions that would lead to them and I having a conversation. I charge $3,000 a month to have 4 hours of talks with me, with my clients. And so if you break it down to an hour, it's over $1,000 per hour if you don't go with the 4 per month package. So another $1,000 bonus of chatting with me after I have the answers to your clarity questions. We get on the phone and we get into creating that plan to get you from where you are to where you want to be very quickly. So how to get there? I created a link that redirects to it. You go to tombeal.com/lockdown, tombeal.com/lockdown. And then you use the coupon code of lockdown. So tombeal.com/lockdown and the coupon code of lockdown. And so when you click on enrolling course, you go with that full-time price of $19.97, and right below it, there's a thing that says add coupon. You click on add coupon, you type in lockdown, it will take that price from $19.97, reduce it to only $500. And you'll gain access to that amazing course. And you'll also gain access to speaking with me. So $3,000 of value minimal. And Ken, I subscribe to the under promise and over deliver. I guarantee it will be the best $500 investment they had ever made. And that's just how I operate.
It's a good program.
Yep.
It's a good program. Yeah. For $500, it's a great deal. It really is. Thank you for that. That's
My
awesome.
pleasure.
So it's tombeal.com/lockdown with the code lockdown.
Correct.
Yes, I actually typed it in there so everybody can see it with the coupon code lockdown.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Well, cool beans. Then we'll call it. We'll land the plane right now. We're right at the bottom of the hour, which is awesome. Tom Beal, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom.
My love to Wanda.
All right.
And we will talk soon.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you? Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you? Do you?
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the sharpest guys I know, the amazing Casey Eberhardt. Hey, Case.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm glad you're here.
It's so funny. Usually I'm down in Sydney and you're off in like Thailand. And now it's weird that I'm in Los Angeles and you're in my second home.
It's true. It's true. And you and I are like ships in the night, because when we were speaking together for Brendan, I would do the front end, you would do the back end, and we would never be in the same room at any given time. You know, but I conspired, because getting hold of you and to get you in one place to talk, not easy. So we booked you for this. So now it's our conversation is kind of the deal here.
Exactly. You know, it's just, you know, it's the nature of the beast. It's when you have a packed schedule and a packed calendar, it sometimes makes dealing with friends more difficult, only because in the case of you and I, it's like, oh, I can call Ken later. Or, oh, I can call Ken later. Or, oh, I can call Ken later. And then later never comes because you get so booked in. So, you know, we'll talk a little bit about that today in terms of like networking and really maintaining and building those relationships with your peers, with your prospects, and with your customers, and ultimately with other influencers.
Yeah, it will, and you excel at that. You have a great tenacity for being able to connect with people. So let's talk about where you see that going and what you see. We have people that are in significant amounts of pain, frozen in their fear. We have people that are in dire need of money, because most people, certainly in the States, what are the statistics right now? They're like 2 paychecks away from bankruptcy. Businesses are 3 weeks away from being out of business. The SBA says it's 72% of businesses won't last through the month without income. That's with their doors shut down. So there's some really crappy statistics. So what recommendations do you have?
Well, look, you know, at the end of the day, here's kind of just my sort of core philosophy, and that is that connectivity is today's new currency. Okay. So if you, as a business owner, understand that your currency that we trade in today is connectivity, far and above and away what your product, good, or service is, everything else tends to be okay. So my philosophy is really about always building relationships, adding value to those relationships, getting to the point where when somebody calls me or I call them, I'm a green button person on my phone rather than a red button person. And we all know those red button people. They're the people that when you call, you immediately hit that red button.
Yep.
So as a business owner, what we teach and train in our internal, in the portfolio of businesses that I participate in, or own or whatever, our philosophy is we want our sales reps, we want our people, we want our customers to feel connected to us. And we're going to do everything we can to build those relationships and to stay in that connectivity loop. So right now we're all hanging out at home, wherever that is, right? And it is fascinating to me the number of businesses that have stopped marketing, have stopped reaching out, have stopped connecting and communicating with their customers. And what they're really doing, unfortunately, is they're letting like someone like Kevin, who was just on your show, walk in and steal those customers because his group is out in the forefront of staying connected to people. And other businesses are like, oh, it's time to like cry and whine. I'm going to lean back and I'm going to post yoga pant videos and I'm going to bitch. And at the end of the day, the companies that are out in the forefront, still following up, still marketing, still connecting, still staying in touch, are the ones that are going to win. And here's why, Ken. The reality is that habits are being reformed right now. Yeah. I don't know about you. I live in Los Angeles. We're on full lockdown. Yeah. Full lockdown. I used to love going to the grocery store. Incredibly inefficient for what I do for a living, but I loved going to the grocery store. It was the time where my phone didn't work. I know where everything is. I could go in with a list. It was fantastic. Right now, I haven't been to a grocery store in 2 months. I now have everything delivered to my house. I don't leave the house other than to go for a walk. And that's a new habit. When we come out of this, my grocery store has lost a customer. Why? because the new types of grocery stores have helped me reformulate a habit and have kept me in the habit. So when we come out of this on the other side, new habits of our customers are going to be formed.
Yeah, that's true.
They're looking right now, right? We've got people watching this right now that are looking for a new opportunity, right? I was listening to Kevin right before us, and I was like, my gosh, you got a lot of people that are stay-at-home moms right now that now they're going nuts. Oh, that their kids are at home. They might want a sales job. People are looking for an opportunity, whatever that is, in a variety of different places. And those businesses and those entrepreneurs that are out in front of still staying connected, still networking, are the ones that are going to come out of this thing like unscathed. I mean, it's really interesting. I've listened to several of the speakers, and it's kind of interesting to me that a lot of a lot of entrepreneurs are busier now than they were in February.
Yeah.
And I'll just use myself as an example. I should have bought stock in Zoom years ago, but the reality is I am busier now than I was before. And I'm actually more efficient because I'm not on airplanes. I'm not in airports. I'm not flying around. I can do just as much in Zoom or in StreamYard or in any other platform, even a Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And now's the time to stay connected more than ever before.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just mean, by the way, email. And I'm sorry, Ken, it just doesn't mean just email. Email open rates are plummeting.
Yeah.
So 80, 90% of your work goes unnoticed. How about sending your customer a box of brownies or a cup of coffee or a nice card or a water bottle or a text that says thank you or a Facebook. I mean, there's a gazillion different things you can do. Sorry, I'm off on a tangent. It's been
but you and I have been having that conversation for a while, and in fact, you spanked me last time we spoke, so it's fair. And we've talked multi-channel. That multi-channel approach works. It's not just a phone call. It's not just a billboard, or it's not just a newspaper ad, or it's not just it's everything.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This is, and I consult for a lot of businesses. I work with a lot of folks. I saw that we were trying to have Roland Frazier in here. I'm super fortunate to be really good friends with all those guys, and I'm around digital marketers. I'm around marketers. I'm around business owners and entrepreneurs and CEOs like all day long. It's all I deal with, and I am constantly perplexed by the number of business owners that only communicate with their network or their customers in the way that they want to be communicated with, meaning the CEO or the entrepreneur, versus realizing and understanding that our customers may not want to play on the same platform. And I'll give you a perfect example.
Yep.
I am a Facebook Messenger and chat person.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook Messenger and text.
Yep.
Ken, I know you love Skype.
Not anymore, but yes, you're right.
My friend Bijal, who's coming up next right after me, he loves the WhatsApp. Loves it.
Yep.
I don't play on WhatsApp, right? I love going into my mail. I'm a busy dude. Somebody sends me something in the mail, it gets opened 100% of the time, right? But if you're only sending emails, I got news for you. You got 90% of your work going unnoticed. So so whatever you spend per lead to put on your email list, you got to times it by 10. That's your true cost, because that's what it's costing you to get somebody to actually read your message. Right? So when I meet someone, I mean, I've got an entire process, right? So if I meet Ken face to face, and I don't know if this is appropriate, Ken, but I'm going to share it anyways. I like having stuff that people can actually walk away with and do. So
that's our deal.
If I meet you at a live event or even on a Zoom, I know that I have to stay connected to you 3 or 4 different ways. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take a selfie in the real world. In a Zoom world, I'm going to take a picture of you and I together. I'll probably do a selfie like this. I'm then going to text you the picture. So I'm going to say, Ken, what's your text number? You're going to give it to me. I'm going to text you my picture, right? Vijal's on here. I can't wait. He's up next. Super excited. Hashtag Casey Wilson. Love it. I'm going to text you that picture, and I'm going to say, hey, Ken, it was great to meet you on Opportunity Thon. I can't wait for us to connect later. And the reason I text that picture to you, and the reason is because I know that later when I text you again, I'm not going to be programmed in your phone. And if I didn't text you the picture, you may not even remember me. But if I text you the picture of you and I together, and now I text you a second time a week later to stay in touch, and you open it and go, who's this guy? You open it up. It's an immediate go, oh, yeah, I remember that dude.
Yeah.
And
that's
that's
smart.
You know, and then I'm going to take that picture. I'm going to take that picture. I'm going to put that on social media and tag you in it. I'm then going to also put it on a card or a water bottle or a box of brownies, and I'm going to send it to you. And then I'm going to send that same picture to you in Skype, connect with it on LinkedIn, and thus that cycle starts to continue. I mean, look, now I got to shut up because Raquel's in the room. And you know, when Raquel's in the room, you got to stay sharp and just shut up and listen. Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you doing? So Casey didn't know I was here, but I want to tell you that there's so much opportunity, and it is about connecting. It totally is. And I got connected from Casey through meeting somebody who met somebody who met somebody who led me to Casey. And Casey very much walks his talk, because I would come home from a trip and here it says Casey, and then you open up the box.
You go, girl.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Huh.
So, no, facts, right? A thank you card,
Yeah.
right? How often do you get like a box with goodies and a thank you card? And in the thank you card is a letter. Yeah. Like, how amazing is that? Now, I'm going to ask you, because people will be like, oh, Casey, did you know that I was going to be on the Opportunity Thon as a co-host?
No, I did not. No, not at all. I mean, let me say this. I've watched part of it. So I've seen you in here, but you know, it's
I'm a latecomer.
You're a latecomer. I get it. I can still remember doing your radio show in Las Vegas. It was one of the most fun podcast radio shows I've ever done and ever had the pleasure to hang out with. You was just absolutely awesome. So, I mean, and what's funny is when you start networking and you start building connections with movers and shakers and players and influencers. I mean, I've known Raquel for years. I've even watched both of us change careers. I've even run into Raquel wandering through halls of airports and hotels where we were speaking at completely different events, not even knowing we were at events.
We're like, oh my gosh, there he is, live. And we're like, oh my God. That was crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's look, here's the thing. I want you guys to just look at Raquel's face right now. Look at her face right now. What she is talking about is an experience on how somebody made her feel, her emotion, and she is going to change to make decisions from her head to her heart because of how somebody made her feel with a 50-cent greeting card, a 50-cent thank you card, a $5 box of brownies.
And here's the thing too.
And brownies is love. I just need to say that.
Wait. Is that, well, chocolate is always love. Chocolate is like straight to the bedroom. But here's the thing. Is that greeting card going to get, it's true. Is that greeting card going to get thrown away? No. Because nobody does it. Because nobody does that anymore. And it's about, right. And it's even about what Kevin had spoke about. You want to be different. You want to be the unicorn in the environment. Like, who sends people stuff? Like, so, and I am wheels up, wheels down, here, there, and everywhere, just like Casey, just like Ken. And when I come home and you open up the mailbox and you have something that's not a bill and it's brownies and it's a thank you card, you're like, yeah! You're like, you this is the first thing that you open when you get in your house, but it's about connection. And that is not the only box of brownies that Casey has sent me. He just periodically will think about me and send me brownies. Hint, hint. All right. You need to stop it. Because I have not gotten brownies from him, so you need to go. I'm sorry.
You're moving around from Thailand to Australia to America to doing tours. It's just it's hard to chase you down. That's the problem.
That's true. That is true. That is true. It's like no one knows where the hell I am. So, and by the way, I don't know where we are time wise because I want to be mindful. And I know Bijal, you guys are kind of tag teaming, but I want to make sure that we're mindful of that and respectful of it. So if someone's keeping track of our time, that would be really good because I'm completely lost right now.
Yeah. So
okay,
look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, here's where this all really comes down. If you always add value to somebody, everything else will work itself out. That I learned that when I was 5 years old, working in my granddad's antique store, and that is that connectivity, the ability to make somebody feel amazing. Without sounding like a douchebag, the return on making your customers feel amazing is exponential because most businesses operate on word of mouth referrals. I do trainings all over the world, and I'll be speaking in front of 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people or 100 people, and I'll say, stand up if your business requires at least 80% word of mouth referrals. Everybody in the room usually stands up. And then I'll say, great, sit down if you cannot tell me who your top 3 referrers are by true revenue data. The whole room sits down. Maybe 1 or 2 will stand up to be snarky. I'll say, great. If I go and pick up your phone right now, are those 3 referral partners in your phone? And if I call them, what will they tell me how you make them feel? And then they just get all freaked out, almost always. And I go, well, here's the deal. Here's the disconnect. The disconnect is birds of a feather flock together. If you have raving fans in your business, they are going to bring their friends and family who are most likely to buy your product, good, or service. But yet you're not even able to tell me who those people are by data, not just by, oh, well, yeah, I think Ken sends me this. And I think Joni sends me this. I want to know by data, number 1. And number 2, people want to just be made to feel special. So if you are not out there making your customers feel awesome, you know who is? Your competition.
Yeah.
The people that can spend more to make your customer feel better about themselves is always going to win 100% of the time. 100% of the time. If you have a competitor and they outspend you in making your customer feel amazing and awesome, you will lose eventually.
Yeah. It's customer experience. It's always been customer experience. It's, people want to feel good. And you know what, though? It's not just even business. Think about it at home. If you are not reinforcing your spouse, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, even your dog, they're going to find someone else.
Yeah.
You got to take care of it. And you've been doing this for a long, long time, Case, because I followed you from like send out cards to banner season and so on. And it makes so much sense. And back in the old days, long before Al Gore invented the internet, when I was in the real estate business, we would buy these reminder, I forget the name of the company, but these these reminder cards, we'd buy a subscription of them. But that was so passive, it was meaningless.
Yeah.
But at least it was something. Now the technology that is available.
I mean, Ken, look, I can send out a coffee mug. Now, I know if you're listening to this, and I'm holding up a coffee mug that says you make a difference on it and the name is on it, right?
Yeah.
Well, for $10, I can send this to someone. How is Raquel going to feel when she gets home from a long week on tour, long couple of weeks out on tour? She's been dealing with tons of angry promoters and irritating customers and irritating audience members. And she comes home and there's a box there and it has a coffee mug in it and says, you make a difference. And it has her name on it.
She's going to love it.
She's going to love it.
She's going to love it.
And ultimately, next time when I call Raquel and I say, hey, Raquel, I have something that I want you to take a look at. I know she's at least going to give me the opportunity to take a look. She may not be it may not be the right product, good, or service, but she's going to let me at least give her the overview, right?
Right. And maybe if she's not interested, would she possibly give you a referral? Because that happens also, because it's the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity says, well, maybe if we don't do business together, he's giving me brownies, he's giving me coffee cups. Ken's not even getting this type of stuff, but I am.
I know.
I know. Sorry, Ken. Yeah. I am sharper.
But you know what? But you know what? I'm visiting Sydney now, and you're not.
I know. I'm stuck in Las Vegas and it's closed. But it goes back to the point is it's about the connection is made. And from the moment I met Casey, we were connected. And it's crazy because I met Casey in a totally different venue. And I'm finding that we have a whole multitude of friends because like finds like, which is what Casey said. So even if somebody says, hey, thank you, but that's not for me, you could get the referral. And that happens all the time, right?
All the time. Listen, connectivity is today's new currency. So Suze even commented on this, and this is so true. It's great to make your customers feel amazing. Thanks, Raquel. It's great to make your customers feel amazing. If it's a whole nother level when you start making your staff feel amazing, when you reach out and apply these same principles to your vendors. I mean, guys, a stupid $10 coffee mug or an $8 thing of brownies that gets you in the door to a CEO of a vendor that's giving you a rough time, massive. I mean, truth be told, I should probably keep my mouth shut on this because I don't know if he's watching. But my credit card processor, the company that runs all of the credit cards through our businesses, geez, sorry. A stupid water bottle with he's a big football, I think. I'm not a sports guy, but a football thing. So I put his team logo on a water bottle with his name on it and sent it to him. He, out of the kindness of his heart, gave me a quarter point or a half point discount on all my processing. For those of you that have credit card processing, a half point discount on your processing over a $30 water bottle.
Oh, yeah.
DTM. Do the math.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Yeah. Okay? And I said that.
Can I just jump in? Because I have to, we're all not only talking about business relationships, connectivity, but your house has to be correct. I want people to understand that domestic abuse is actually exponentially on the rise. Imagine if, seriously, that same coffee cup or that same brownie, your significant other, your kids, they're your number one client, right? If you can treat people good outside of the house, people good that are inside of the house, a little goes a long way. And Ken had just mentioned that it's that important. So not only think about doing this in business, but think about doing this in your home life with the people that you also love.
Absolutely. And look, here's the thing. Guys, just going back to this staying connected to different things, I want to just use another example. I want to share just a quick story. I was speaking at an event in Las Vegas, actually, at the world's largest wedding professional show, Wedding MBA. It's a massive, massive show. And I was doing this presentation and I looked around and the room was fairly older in age. Okay. So we had I think there were about 1,000 people in the room this day. And I don't know why it just hit me in the middle of it. I was trying to explain this whole idea where not everybody wants to pick up the phone. Not everybody wants to be on the Facebook. Not everybody knows TikTok, right? So I said, how many of you are grandparents? And almost everybody raised their hand. And I said, how many of you would like to stay better connected to your grandkids? And they all raised their hand. I said, awesome. Everybody turn your phone on. I said, how many of you try to call your grandkids and you get irritated when they don't pick up the phone? Almost everybody raises their hand. I said, awesome. Everybody turn your phones on because I want to hear them beep. And I'd like you to just take out your phone and text your grandkids. Text your grandkids. Just say, hey, I'm sitting in this venue or I'm just sitting in this workshop and I just was reaching out and say, I love you. I hope you're doing well. Whatever it is. So they all are doing this, right? Literally, Ken, within 30 seconds, you just hear and just you hear a wave of people receiving text back from their grandkids. And I knew what was going to happen. So I actually started laughing. And I actually said, open the back doors because here's what happened. All these grandparents got up and they ran outside the room because in their minds, they thought their grandkids actually wanted to talk to them on the phone. That's not how their grandkids think. Their grandkids could be on a ski lift. They could be smoking weed. They could be on, at their girlfriend or boyfriend's house, whatever. They communicate via text, quick, short, quick text. Yeah. Right? Grandparents want to get on the phone and chit chat and or whatever the phone thing is. So going back to how we kind of started this and saying, look, they want to be communicated with text, right? So I want to leave you with, so anyway, it's just a funny story to see how different people connect with people differently. I know that if I'm calling somebody older, then I'm going to have a better likelihood of they're going to join me or buy my product, good, or service if I'm on the phone with them. If they're younger, they probably are more online. If they're under 18, they're probably on Snap or TikTok. Sorry. If they skew a little older, they're on maybe on Facebook. If they are a visual or I'm selling something visual, I'm going to probably be on Pinterest or Instagram. It is so important as you build out your network. I'll kind of just throw this at you, Ken. And I know you got Bijal coming up here. So I just say, when you guys are out networking and you're meeting people, here's the thing. Go talk to the influencers. There's 5 people I talk to at every type of an event. And it's the same 5 people everywhere I go. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Speakers, the reason speakers, they listen, watch how just in this, I've highlighted Raquel. I've highlighted Kevin. I've highlighted Bijal. I've highlighted Ken throughout this whole thing.
Yep.
That's why you want to get to know the speakers. I do research on speakers before I go to an event so that I have something to talk to about when I show up at the event. It's why I can go into a room and people know me very quickly because I've already done my research on the speaker. I have a dossier on every speaker before I ever go to an event. The organizer of the event. I'm buddies with Ken. I'm buddies with Dean. I know these guys because I've built relationships with the organizers. They know everyone. They're the ones making the decisions, who the speakers are. If Ken introduces me to another speaker here, that will have more impact than if I just go try to introduce myself. The organizers or the promoters, they're doing a warm introduction for you is massive, right? I know. If somebody said they liked that I was doing a rotary phone, I was going like this for a phone. I forgot that it was even like this, and then it was like this, and then it was like this with the little phone. And then, anyways, and then the other last 3 people I always talk to are the 3 biggest yap jobs, the 3 biggest influencers in the room. And the reason is that is more important to me than trying to find my ideal client at a networking event. I am looking for the big picture relationship, influencer relationships and contacts, rather than one person who's at an event who's trying to sell their crap. They're not there to buy my crap. So why am I trying to sell my crap to somebody there that's not there to buy anything? They're there trying to sell their crap. Go help them sell stuff. I walk into an event. I don't take business cards. I don't take any of that crap. I'm not there to sell anything. I'm there to build relationships and find some people that I think are really cool. Yeah. It's why when I look at the speaker list of this event, out of the 55 people, I know about 40 of them.
Sure.
Not because I'm good looking. I mean, look at me. I've got the face for radio. It's because I understand the power of being in front of the person of influence. In this case, Ken, right? I've known Ken for many, many years. And like we talk, we hang out when we're in the same thing. It's not a, what can I get from you, Ken? What can I get from you, Ken? It's the things that go on between the time you need a sale or between the time you're going to make a pitch. That's the most critical and the most important. And I just think so many people, if they would focus, I'll finish with this, Ken, because I know we're running a little bit over. Yep. Here's the thing, guys. There are 3 buckets of customers in every one of your businesses. Current customers, past customers, and new customers. The easiest group of people to sell to are your current customers. The second group of people that are easiest to sell to are your past customers, the ones that already left. They used to know you, they used to like you, they used to trust you, but for whatever reason, you probably dropped the ball and they left. They didn't know you cared. So the guy or the gal down the street showed them. So it's pretty easy to get some of those folks back. Yep. The hardest group of people to sell stuff to, you guys, are the brand new people. Yet I ask you, where do you think most businesses spend 90% of their time, energy, money, and resources trying to find new people? Whereas if you would go make raving fans out of your current customers, show them that you care, offer them more solutions to problems that they might be having, easy. Bring back, have a win back program. Send them some brownies and say, hey, we jerked this thing up. Come on back. We love you. And finally, Ken, you're awesome. Thank you for having me.
I love you. You are, and I'll tell you, you did exactly what I asked you to do. You actually exceeded what I asked you to do. Because what I asked people to do is give me tangible things that we can put into action immediately that will provide tangible results, and that's exactly what you did. And I'm not surprised, because that's just who you are, and I appreciate that. But I started out by saying that you're one of the brightest guys I know, and I kid you not. And it's just not even a stroke job. That's the real deal.